Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going on a journey. We're going to explore the life of a companion to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, named Abu Musa al-Ash'ari.
Wow, what a deep dive we have ahead of us.
This guy, his story's amazing.
Yeah.
And his voice is unbelievable.
Beautiful voice.
So captivating. It's like even the Prophet himself would stop and listen.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about, how powerful the Quran is and then to have a voice that can really bring it to life like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
So get ready, because this is a story of devotion and resilience and, of course, the power of the Quran.
And what's so fascinating is that Abu Musa's story, it actually begins a lot like yours.
Oh, really? How's that?
With a thirst for knowledge. As a teenager in Yemen, he hears about this prophet in Mecca.
Mm-hmm.
And he is just so intrigued that he sets out on this huge journey just to learn more.
Wow.
I mean, talk about going the extra mile, right?
Yeah.
Just to seek knowledge. That's some serious dedication.
Talk about dedication. So he sets off on this journey. And what happens next? He embraces Islam and gets tasked with going back to Yemen to spread the message.
Amazing. His journey kind of mirrors our own as we go through this deep dive.
Yeah.
Starting as seekers.
Yeah.
Eager to learn and really explore.
Explore. Okay, so Abu Musa, his family, and his whole tribe, they're setting sail from Medina.
Right.
They think it'll be smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm.
But wait for it. Powerful winds send them on a detour to Abyssinia.
Modern-day Ethiopia.
Modern-day Ethiopia. So that's like a plot twist?
It is. It is a plot twist. But this random twist of fate actually becomes a beautiful reunion.
Okay.
They meet Jafar ibn Abi Talib, the prophet's cousin.
Oh, wow.
And other early Muslims who are seeking refuge there. It's a powerful reminder that even when things don't go according to plan, you can still find blessings.
Yeah, like those detours in life that lead you to exactly where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So finally, after that little adventure, they arrive in Medina alongside Jafar and the group from Abyssinia. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, welcomes them. Open arms.
Huge moment.
He even praises them, saying that their hearts are softer and more attached to Islam than those who had stayed in Medina.
That's a huge endorsement coming directly from the Prophet himself.
Yeah.
Highlighting their unwavering commitment to the faith.
Mm-hmm.
After all those challenges they faced on their journey.
Absolutely. Now, what made Abu Musa really stand out?
His voice.
His voice. Renowned for his just breathtakingly beautiful recitation of the Quran.
And, we're not talking about just a pleasant voice.
Right.
This is captivating, deeply moving. Everyone is just drawn to it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's even more remarkable is that, he wasn't this imposing figure. He was described as actually being quite slender. But his voice, it had this power that transcended his physical appearance.
Yeah, and there's this story where the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is walking at night, and he hears Abu Musa reciting, and he's so captivated by the sound that he just stops outside the house.
Stops outside the house, completely mesmerized.
Completely mesmerized, just listening. And then there's another account where the Prophet compares Abu Musa's voice to the instruments of the family of David.
Right after hearing him recite in the mosque. And I think that comparison, it really emphasizes that this was a divine gift, this talent.
Yeah.
And it connects it to, this lineage of prophets who are known for their beautiful voices.
Mm-hmm. So it's like his voice was this gift, to connect people to the beauty and the power of the Quran on this deeper level.
Deeper level, absolutely.
But, Abu Musa's devotion to the Quran wasn't limited to just recitation. He was so passionate about teaching.
Oh, yeah, teaching and learning. I mean, he made it his mission to share his knowledge with everyone.
Yeah, and this really shows the Prophet's emphasis on seeking and spreading knowledge.
Absolutely.
It's not just about personal growth.
Right.
It's about empowering others through the wisdom of the Quran.
It is.
And he wasn't just teaching during the day.
No.
He'd stay up late at night, just sharing his knowledge, helping others connect with the Quran.
So inspiring to see that kind of dedication.
And get this, he was so humble. He chose a simple life, even when he was appointed governor of Basra.
Think about that. A leader prioritizing simplicity and service over wealth and luxury.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder that true fulfillment, it isn't found in material possessions or positions of power.
Right.
But in aligning our lives with our values, it challenges us to look at our own priorities. Like, how do we balance, our worldly responsibilities with spiritual growth and service to others.
Yeah, and there's this story that perfectly illustrates Abu Musa's humility. His son recounts how their wool clothes would be damp and sometimes even smelly after walking with the prophet in the rain. And it really paints this vivid picture.
It does.
Of their shared simplicity, this focus on what really mattered.
Yeah.
They weren't worried about appearances or material comfort.
Beautiful testament to their shared values and this commitment to a life grounded in faith and service.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, as we know, life isn't always smooth sailing. Abu Musa lived through the fitna, this period of intense civil war and division within the Muslim community.
Yeah, a time of great turmoil and uncertainty.
And what's remarkable is that, Abu Musa was known as a peace-loving person. But despite all the chaos and the conflict, he refused to fight against fellow Muslims.
Powerful.
He believed in resolving conflicts peacefully and upholding unity within the community.
It takes such strength of character to stand by your principles, especially in the face of such intense division.
Absolutely. And he even served as an arbitrator during this tumultuous time, just trying to find common ground and bring people back together.
His commitment to peace and unity never wavered.
Even when surrounded by so much discord.
It really makes you think about how we respond to conflict in our own lives, right? Do we choose division or do we seek understanding and reconciliation?
Yeah, his example is a testament to holding on to your values, even in the toughest situations.
It's a powerful lesson for all of us.
It is.
But how did he get so connected to the Quran? This man lived and breathed the Quran.
Yeah. There's an account where he's traveling with another companion, and Abu Musa is reciting
the whole time.
The entire time. And when they ask him about his recitation routine, he says he makes it a point to engage with the Quran constantly, while he's standing, sitting, even writing.
Wow.
It was always with him.
That's incredible. It reminds us to prioritize what really matters and find those ways to connect with our faith, even when life gets busy.
And it wasn't just about personal practice for him,
He was also deeply committed to teaching. After every prayer, he would ask, does anybody want to learn the Quran? And he would teach them patiently, sometimes late into the night.
Can you imagine having someone like that in your community?
Yeah.
Someone so passionate about sharing knowledge, empowering others.
Yeah. His dedication to teaching, it reminds me of that beautiful hadith where the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, says, the best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. Abu Musa truly embodied that.
Absolutely. And remember, all this is happening during a time of immense growth for the Muslim community. So the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, recognizes Abu Musa's gifts and his deep connection to Yemen. And sends him back to Yemen to spread the message.
It was a strategic decision.
Yeah.
Who better to guide people than someone who understands their culture and speaks their language?
It's like sending a cultural ambassador.
Yeah.
Someone who can bridge that gap and make the message relatable.
Absolutely. And it wasn't a solo mission.
Correct.
The Prophet sent Mu'adh bin Jabal.
Another companion.
Another prominent companion to Yemen alongside Abu Musa. This was often done sending two companions to different regions. It was, to provide support, different perspectives, and to ensure effective leadership.
So it's like a dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Combining their strengths to guide and teach. Isn't it interesting how history often pairs people with complementary skills?
It is.
To make a greater impact.
It is. And, as they're traveling together, there's this heartwarming little exchange between Abu Musa and Mu'adh bin Jabal.
Oh, yeah.
About their recitation habits.
Yeah.
Abu Musa, he's constantly reciting.
Always reciting.
Mu'adh bin Jabal, he admits to taking breaks to rest.
Yeah, I love how that highlights that there's no one size fits all. When it comes to connecting with the Quran, it's about finding what works for you.
Absolutely.
And staying committed.
And Mu'adh bin Jabal, he emphasizes that, he seeks reward from Allah.
Yeah.
For both his recitation and his rest, recognizing it's all for the sake of Allah.
It's a beautiful reminder that our intentions matter. Our efforts
are recognized
and appreciated.
Absolutely. But, Abu Musa's teaching wasn't limited to just Yemen, wherever he went, he shared his knowledge and inspired others to connect with the message of the Quran. You know, his voice was like this beacon, drawing people in, nurturing their understanding. People would gather around his house at night just to listen to him recite.
Wow.
It's beautiful to imagine those gatherings, people from all walks of life, united by their love for the Quran.
And even Umar ibn al-Khattab, known for his strict leadership. He recognized Abu Musa's exceptional qualities.
He did.
And he appointed him governor of Basra.
For 4 years.
For 4 years.
Which was, you know, a longer tenure than most.
Yeah. So that's a real testament to the trust and respect that Umar had for Abu Musa.
Absolutely. His wisdom, leadership, integrity.
And even in a position of power, Abu Musa stayed grounded.
He did.
When he left Basra after those 4 years. His son described that he only had 600 dirhams to his name.
He didn't accumulate wealth.
No.
Or exploit his position.
It was amazing.
He really embodied, you know, simplicity, service, and accountability.
Powerful reminder that leadership is about serving, not self-enrichment.
But even someone as devoted as Abu Musa, you know, he faced personal challenges.
Of course.
Imagine witnessing the fitna, this period of intense civil war and division. It's a reminder that even within faith communities, you know,
disagreements and conflicts can arise.
Of course. And test even the most devout individuals.
They do. But what's remarkable is that Abu Musa, you know, with his commitment to peace and unity, he refused to participate in fighting against fellow Muslims.
Wow.
He actively sought peaceful resolutions and even served as an arbitrator, you know, trying to bridge those divides.
So amazing.
And during this chaotic time, his understanding of the Quran really shone through. He narrated many hadiths about the fitna, emphasizing the importance of unity, compassion, and avoiding division.
Yeah, it's like he was this voice of reason amidst all the chaos.
Right, reminding people of those core values of Islam and the importance of preserving unity.
Absolutely. And he would often quote hadiths like, whoever points a weapon at us is not from us.
Right.
You know, emphasizing the sanctity of life, the need for peaceful resolutions. Right. And, you know, he would also narrate the hadith. Where the prophet says, the believers to each other are like a building. Each part of that building reinforces the other, you know, highlighting that interconnectedness of the community and the need for mutual support.
Yeah, those are such powerful messages, especially during a time when people were literally turning against each other. You know, his unwavering commitment to the prophet's teachings and that hope for reconciliation and peace, it's just so inspiring.
It is, and even after the fitna, when Muawiyah, the new leader, offered him a position of authority, Abu Musa declined.
Really?
He said, "You have sent to me in regards to a huge affair, as it concerns the Ummah.
Right.
What will I say to my Lord when I'm sent back to him, and I have to present on behalf of this affair?
Wow.
I have absolutely no need for this."
Wow, he prioritized his accountability to Allah.
He did.
Above worldly power.
Above all else.
He understood that true leadership isn't about titles, but about serving others and living a life aligned with your values.
You know, his life story offers so much for us to reflect on. Like, how do we, like Abu Musa, cultivate that deep connection with the Quran and allow its teachings to really guide our actions, especially in a world filled with distractions and temptation?
Yeah, that is the challenge we all face.
It is.
How do we make time for what matters and use our knowledge and abilities to make a positive impact?
You know, Abu Musa's commitment to teaching, his humility, his dedication to peace, and his refusal to compromise his values. It's a timeless example of what it means to live a life guided by faith and service.
And, you know, it's incredible to think about his impact, not just through these historical events, but through his everyday actions.
Right.
You know, Abu Musa was known for his simple acts of kindness and genuine concern for others.
He was deeply committed to visiting the sick, not for personal gain or recognition, but purely for the sake of Allah.
There's this heartwarming story where someone asks him directly, are you visiting because I need something?
Right.
Or is there some other reason? And his response is amazing.
What did he say?
He said, "No, it's just for the sake of Allah. I'm simply visiting a sick brother."
Wow.
It's a beautiful example of his sincerity and this desire to serve others without expecting anything in return.
It's a reminder for us all to check our intentions.
Absolutely.
And to cultivate a genuine desire to serve others, just like Abu Musa did.
And speaking of doing things purely for Allah, have you heard the story about him fasting on the ship?
Oh, yes. The story about him fasting on the ship. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so picture this. Abu Musa's on a ship. It's scorching hot.
Okay.
And suddenly, this voice calls out from the sea. Wait, from the sea. Who was it?
It was a jinn.
A jinn.
Conveying a message from Allah.
Wow.
And the message said that whoever endures the thirst of fasting on such a hot day would be nourished by Allah on the day of judgment when people are most in need.
So powerful.
Right. It reminds us that our sacrifices in this life are recognized and rewarded by Allah. And Abu Musa embodied this until his last moments.
Yeah. I remember reading that as he was passing away, he told his wife not to excessively mourn.
He reminded her that even in grief,
Yeah.
we should strive to please Allah and avoid actions that might displease him. Such a testament to his unwavering faith.
Yeah.
And his commitment to living a life guided by Islamic principles.
Yeah, it's like he was teaching until his very last breath, leaving behind this legacy of faith, knowledge, and service. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the life of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, what are some things that we can learn from his extraordinary journey?
You know, for me, it's about that transformative power of the Quran.
And how one person can have such a profound impact on the world.
Yeah.
You know, by living its message. Abu Musa, he dedicated his life to learning, teaching, embodying the values of the Quran.
Yeah.
And he touched countless hearts, inspiring them with his recitation, his knowledge, and his unwavering commitment to justice and peace.
His story really reminds us that it's not just about, you know, grand gestures or positions of power, but it's about the everyday choices that we make, the kindness we show to others, how we respond to challenges, and our commitment to our values.
And as you continue on your own journey,
I
want you to think about this.
Okay.
How can you, like Abu Musa, embrace those unexpected detours in life? How can you use your voice to uplift others, promote peace in your community, and leave behind a legacy of faith and service? That's a challenge worth taking on. So until next time, keep seeking knowledge, keep diving deep, and keep striving to make a positive difference in the world.